So this is a section covered after 10-12 minutes, and I didn't key the surface beforehand, as the Vintro no-seal is a good consistency, and the coverage likewise. However, there is a slight run on the brush strokes, whiting, but I'm not bothered, because in this instance it'd be unfair to say the paint was not suitable, because in most instances it is. It's just that the panel was slightly shiny, which I knew, and I want to apply 2 coats anyway, because it's in the direction of driving rain, full sunlight, as you can see. So read the sunlight. I'm happy to use the paint, because although it's thick, it will dry in good time, and I can see how it looks in full light, and it means you don't have to wait the 2 to 4 hours recommended, not just for drying but curing as well over time. So I can apply a second coat, maybe today, possibly tomorrow, but just gives you an idea. And for those watching this outside the UK, our weather, not so much in the summer, but during the winter, is long, grey, wet, damp, and so another reason for 2 coats, even though this paint is for outdoor use, just for extra peace of mind with the direction again of the rain and the sunlight. So I will update you following completion of the first coat. Maybe you can see, but I'll move closer. One reason for applying a second coat is, perhaps you can see white lines where the surface underneath is slightly shiny, so the second coat will just blend that in, as if one complete coat was enough in itself, and then we'll improve it overall. So I will press on with the second coat and then let you know how long it took, but beforehand it was about 45 minutes, taking time. But where it's so warm, the paint will grab slightly because it's also thick. I'm inclined not to water it down, because then there's the issue with dripping, whereas this on its own with a good stir is very noticeable in being non-drip and ideal for the application. So here we are, second coat applied, approximately 30 minutes, as the first coat helped with the second one going on, and fills in the whiting areas as I showed you before, and so just a nice thick set finish now, and with the 2 layers, that extra protection as I've mentioned. So just moving in on it, put it into the sun. You can see white lines gone, nice full finish, and also on the feathering of the panels, able to get nicely into those as well. And just to add, it's a very warm day today, possibly the warmest in June, and the paint is dry within a few minutes, and the pasting of the brush wasn't hard work. It was smooth enough to glide on, and because it's thick it will resist some, but the finish, and for the purpose of it, as well as the nice relaxing colour as I find, is worth it. So I'll show you the brush. If you see towards the metal collar, hardly any thickening lumps at all, and that's one coat with touching in, and that'll easily wash out. So to show that where the brushing happens, it's not thick, pasty either, with the chalky bits that can appear on the standard chalk paint, which is good for its purpose, indoor work, furniture and so on. But for an outdoor job like this, considering the thickness of the paint, it's perfect really. So to recap, as you will see, this is a product from Vintro, known as no seal type of chalk paint, but designed for use outside, although it can be used inside too. Watering is acceptable as long as you put a small amount in, otherwise the non-drip will happen. But ideal for different tasks and materials, so worthwhile looking into, I would suggest. There are plenty of products equivalent and similar, but this one with the non-drip in particular and the coverage I like, and so I would endorse as a good one to try. There are plenty of stockists and can be purchased online. This is a litre tin, and the job painting the fence panel twice and on the feather-like edging plus touching in was about 2/3, and bearing in mind I had not watered, so if you're planning a particular task and others, more than likely you would get more out of the paint, but again depends on the surface, the type of absorption and so on. So the brush in this instance, as I mentioned, is a silicone type, and for the fence panel wasn't such a concern about the loss of bristle and hair depending on the type of brush, but in this instance it's just ideal not to fiddle around, and likewise with any other work. So this colour is cobalt. The other fence panel to the left is a slightly different shade of blue, as I'm sampling how it looks with the scenery around, but the cobalt for me is just a nice blend, as mentioned, as a water effect for the sky, particularly when it's grey and overcast, raining. There is good water repellency on this, and when I sprayed last night before applying the second coat this morning, there's a lovely beading on it as well, just as if like a polished car. Thank you for watching.